All right, all right, all right. Can you guys see me? Hear me? Let me open up the chat. I see the emojis. Good stuff. There we go. There's the chat. Awesome. Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys have been enjoying Workflow Con. We're getting down to the end of the day here. And today we're going to be talking about why your firm needs an operating system. So this session is going to be pretty simple and straightforward. We got 30 minutes, so not a lot of time here. So just talk. It's really going to be majority of it's going to be a Financial Sense demo. So if you already use Financial Sense, this may not be as valuable to you. But if you're interested in learning more, I can show you how the system works. So let's jump on in. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. 1 second. How do I get... There we go. All right. I'm going to go into a presentation mode. Actually, I've been using Google Slides so much I don't remember how to use PDF. Okay. Oh, here it is. Down here, presentation mode. All right. So let's talk about this. Why you need a firm operating system in your firm. Today is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to talk about what is a firm operating system, the challenges if you don't have one, and then I'm going to walk you into Financial Sense and show you how that can be the operating system for your firm. So let's first talk about what is a firm operating system. A firm operating system is a centralized and integrated software solution designed to help you manage all the pieces of your business in your accounting firm. So a single source of truth, one place for your team and one place for your clients to do everything they need to do related to the firm. That's work, communication, time tracking, document management, client management, everything your firm needs in one place, like a centralized solution. Why is this important, right? So a lot of times when you start out, you don't really need a firm operating system. It's good to still have, but you don't feel the pain. But as you start to grow, right, you start to take on more clients, maybe you even add a few team members, your firm becomes more complex. And you start to see all this client information is being stored in all these different places. All the communication with your team and your clients is happening in all these different places. Everyone starts to get confused because they don't know what system to use for what. And this creates inefficient operations, right? Because at first when you start out, you're using like sticky notes, spreadsheets, paper. Maybe you're using like different apps for different things. But as you grow, it becomes worse. It becomes more complicated because switching between all these apps is confusing, not just for your team, because they don't know where to go for what systems, right? Or they're spending a lot of time trying to remember and looking through all the different systems to find different things. But on your client side, your client may have to think, okay, I've got to go Slack to communicate with them. I got to upload my documents here. I got to pay my invoices here. If I need to ask them a question, I'll do that here. Like, they're also confused. It's creating a terrible client experience. So those fragmented systems are switching costs on both your firm and client side. This creates inefficiencies also for your team, right? So one, when you hire new team members, you're having to train them on several different solutions and teach them where to go for all these different things. Same thing with the client, right? This kills productivity because they're asking a lot of questions or they're spending time looking for things. It also creates mistakes and human error, right? When you're switching between different apps or you're having to look in different places for different things, maybe you forget to look for something. You make a mistake. You have to go back and fix it. And all of this together creates scalability issues. It's okay when it's just you. It's okay when you're small. But as you try to grow, if you don't fix these issues, you lose visibility. Things become disorganized. Things slip through the cracks. Clients get upset. You lose clients. Growth starts to stutter. You're stressed out because you don't know where anything stands. And this prevents you from being able to scale. So if you don't have a firm operating system, all these challenges that happen prevent you from building the firm you want to build. And scalability can mean different things. It doesn't always mean growing to 10 or 50 employees, right? That's what a lot of people want. But it also mean like scaling your operation. So maybe it's more automation, right? Being able to work reasonable hours. So you can't accomplish any of that if you don't have an operating system. And it again, it solves these problems because it becomes a single source of truth. The big issue here that's causing, like the source root problem that's causing a lot of the things we talked about here, is how everything is decentralized. Everything is happening in different places. That's killing your visibility. That's killing your organization. That's killing your scalability. So the Firm OS solves all these problems because, again, it gives you that single source of truth, that one place for your team, that one place for your clients to get everything they need. It simplifies overall operations. You have one system to train your team and your clients on. It's easy to remember. It keeps everything organized in a single place so people can find what they need. They know exactly where to go to do what they need to do. There's less error because you're not switching between apps. This drives efficiency. This drives profitability because you're not paying for 10 different apps. And it drives scalability. This is how you scale your firm. This is how you get your time back, or this is how you continue to grow your team and delegate work, scale your operations. And that's why we built Financial Sense. So we built Financial Sense to solve this reason, to create this single source of truth, this all-in-one, easy-to-use practice management solution. Because when we looked at the market, when we started a few years ago, there were some options out there, but there wasn't something that was simple, right? Something that was built for the everyday firm. Everything was either too expensive, it was outdated, it was too hard to implement, or too much for your team. So we wanted to create a simple practice management solution that could serve as that single source of truth, right? Workflow, automation, email, client database and CRM, portal, communication, document management, time tracking, billing, everything you need to run your practice and to centralize your operations. So let's jump in. Let me show you how Financial Sense does just that. Let me share my screen. Diane, you may not be, I don't know if you're going to be able to get the slides, but we will have the recording on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to go to Q&A real quick. When will the next Workflow Con be? The next Workflow Con will be next year, around the same time, either early November or late October. We don't have a specific date yet, but definitely want to see you there. So let's jump in to a quick demo. And we don't have too much time, so I'm going to run through this quickly. And I'm going to give a high-level demo here, but if you guys have any questions, you can also schedule a demo with our team. I think there's a CTA that we just had live. If we can push that live again, you can get a full demo with our team. Okay. So let's talk about Financial Sense. So as I mentioned, Financial Sense is a single source of truth for your firm. And the core of everything Financial Sense does focuses around workflow. Because workflow, I mean, that's why we're here for Workflow Con, right? It's the biggest challenge firms have. And everything originates around the work. You're a service-based, accountants are service-based businesses. So everything originates around the deliverables and the work. You're deadline driven. So the first thing you see in Financial Sense is your workflow dashboard. This is where you get that visibility, right? This is where you can see who's working on what is the status of work, when is everything due, and ensure nothing is slipping through the cracks, right? So I can see all the work going on across the firm. I can see my work, my team members' work. I can see the status of everything, the progress, when it is due, what is done, whose desk is it on. So you always know where everything stands. You're never wondering, sitting there in the middle of the night wondering, okay, did we get that done? I have no idea. And you don't find out till the client calls and they're upset because you didn't do any of the work you were supposed to do. Up here, you have these filters. This helps you drill down and get more granularity. Like as your firm grows, you got a lot of clients, you got a lot of team members. There's specific types of reports you want to see and things you want to track. That's what you do up here. So you could say, I want to see all the monthly bookkeeping work we're doing, right? And you could even say that is in review. Well, there's nothing in review. That's good. Maybe there's a better in review. Okay. Oh, no. Let's just say it's waiting on a client, right? So you can quickly see and drill down. Or you could say waiting on client due this month, right? And you have all these other filters. You can filter by status, which are customizable. You can filter by time periods. You can filter by due dates. You can filter by team members. You can filter by client, client group. And what's really cool is as you apply all these filters and you stack all these filters, you can also save different views to switch between what matters. So like maybe I want to see just high priority work, or maybe I want to see all the bookkeeping work that's due this week, or the tax work, or you can really create as many views and filters as you want. Okay, so again, this view, it's all about visibility. Let's go in and actually show you where the work gets done. This is where like the centralization happens or the organization happens in your firm. So I'm going to click into this test project. So actually real quick, I don't know where that, okay, let's just do this one then. Why is it like this? Okay, so let's just do this one. So inside Financial Sense in a project is where your team actually gets their work done, right? So the important thing about Financial Sense, going back to the organization and centralization, everything related to the work happens on the work. So for example, you need to request documents from the client. You can easily create a request list to request important documents. So bank statements, credit card statements, or loan statements from the client. You can do that here. You can easily, once you create that request list, so like you can do many different things. You can request documents, you can send documents, you can ask questions. When you do that, you can easily send them to the client. You can choose who you want to send them to, and then turn on the automated reminders. So when you send a request to the client, you can even say follow up with that client maybe every 3 or 4 days until they get that work done. So this not only automates the client data collection process, but it helps you get those documents faster through an easy to use portal, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then when the client uploads the documents, they'll mark it completed on their end and it'll update here, and you'll be able to see the documents they shared with you. You can also communicate with the client, right, about the request, and track that progress. You also have your internal team tasks, right? So all the tasks your team need to follow to complete the work. So your team can see all the steps and the processes in completing the bookkeeping tasks. They have subtasks as well. You can click in and have descriptions and detail your processes. This is important because it helps you maintain the quality of the work as you delegate it to your team members. And then as your team completes the work, it'll be done here. Now, it's not just a place to request the documents, right, and your team to see the work and the steps they need to follow to complete the work. You also have other information related to work, because we believe that it's not just knowing how to do, it's having everything to do. So you can communicate with your clients from inside the work as well. So you can ask questions and send them stuff from inside the work. You can communicate with your team members. You can view documents related to the work. You can track time. And you can also view emails. So if we have an email integration. So if clients send you emails, you can tag it to the work. Everything your team needs to get their work done is on the work. So they're not having to go to different apps to find information, look in folders for client documents. Everything is right here, keeping your team efficient, keeping everything organized, and making sure no mistakes happen. You can even access external resources here, so you can link to like videos or other apps from inside Financial Sense. So literally everything your team needs to get their work done. So we talked about how you can store all the work-related information, but you could also store client-related information as well. So if you go to your clients tab here, you have all your clients listed out. You can see all like high-level information, like a client database. And then when you click in, or let's go to a different client profile. If you click into a client, you can see everything you need to know about that client. You can see projects, client notes, transactions, like uncategorized transactions, documents, contact information, custom fields, so entity type, social security numbers, right? Requests that are active, documents. You can even store passwords and usernames to all their apps. Again, the client communication, whether it's via chat or even all the different emails between you and that client. So everything you need related to the client is in one place. Again, serving as that single source of truth for all of that information. Another really powerful thing is you can also bring email inside a financial sense. We know that email is a big issue for accounting firms. You guys get a lot of emails, there's a lot of inbox overwhelm. And also, a lot of your work starts in email. So that's why we integrate with your inbox. So you can view your inbox inside financial sense alongside your work. And there's a few benefits of that, right? Not only can you view the emails, but you can filter it down to overcome the clutter of your inbox to just show client related emails. Again, we have all your clients and their contact information in here. So we can filter down just to show emails related to your clients. And you can integrate with multiple inboxes. So you can have your personal, your work, or several other work emails integrated at one time, because we know clients send you emails to all these different locations. And then we'll consolidate it into one aggregated view and then filter it. So again, it filters out all the spam and the personal emails. So when you're working, you can focus on what matters. And then you can view those emails. You can respond to clients, which is integrated with your Outlook or Gmail. So it keeps everything in sync. And what's really cool too is you can actually create work from the email. So if this is like them asking you an ad hoc task, you can create a project and that will show up and you can track on this view. Or like I mentioned earlier, you can pin it to that work. And if you pin it to the work, your team will be able to view that email when they're doing their work. And that will allow that, so you don't have to forward it to their inbox and it gets buried and lost. So those are a few things, like again, the work, the email on the client organization side. Next, I kind of want to show you the client side of things. But before I do, I'm going to come back and check and see if there's any questions in Q&A. Drop them in the Q&A if you have any. Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions yet. So let's talk about the client side. So on the client side, your client will be able to access the portal from the email requests you send them, or from the other system, or from like the access page. One thing about our portal that makes it different from other portals is that your clients don't have to set up a username or password. This is actually one of the most popular things about our portal. So when they click it, they instantly get access. Now, if they weren't already logged in, what happens is they type in their email and it sends them a verification code and they can access it through secure Magic Link technology. So, and this keeps everything secure and safe so you can share sensitive information in the portal, but it prevents them from having to create the username and password, which they always forget. It makes it more client friendly, which is important because if your clients can easily access the information in the portal, they're going to respond to your requests. They're going to send you the documents faster and do everything else you need them to do faster. So when the clients access the portal, if they access it from like the request, which I was talking about earlier, like you can request items from your client, they will then be able to view those request items here. And they can respond to you. They can upload the documents you need. They can view all the other requests. They can also view documents and folders that you've shared with them. They can communicate with you. So we talked about the chat earlier. They can respond to transactions. And what's coming out next week, they'll also be able to pay invoices. So again, we're not only creating that single source of truth for your team, we're also creating it for your clients. One place for your clients to go through a modern portal experience to communicate with you, to access files and reports, to send you the information you need, and to pay your invoices. And then integrating that with your back office. So whenever they communicate with you or do these things, your team can easily find it quickly within one click related to the work. Now, I don't have it here, but one new thing that's coming out next week is our invoicing. So soon, within the next week, you're going to be able to actually invoice your clients in financial sense as well. So you can create invoices. You can set up one-time and recurring. You can automate those invoices as well, so they're automatically paid, which reduces your AR. You'll have proposals and engagement letters, which is coming in a few months, like later this year. That's not going to be available next week. Um, you'll be able to bill off time. You'll have WIP reporting, AR reporting. So really being also able to centralize your revenue operations. And not only is that beneficial for your firm because now you're keeping like your revenue operations integrated with your workflow operations, which there's a lot of benefits to that, but you're also centralizing it on the client side. So now your client can pay their invoices in the portal that they're already in to communicate with you, to send you the information, to view documents, which makes it a better client experience and helps you get paid faster. So that's something that's coming too. But yeah, that was a quick high level overview of Financial Sense. You know, we didn't have a lot of time here, but if you guys have any questions, drop in the Q&A. I'm happy to answer them. So the recording should be posted by the end of the week, all the recordings to YouTube. There is no extra fee for billing. So if like it's included in all the subscription plans, the proposals and the invoicing will be. So there's no extra fee except for the merchant fees that you're already paying. And we're going to be just as competitive, if not more affordable than your current platform. We don't sync with Zero yet. We're waiting for Zero to open up their API. But you can with QuickBooks Online, so you can ask about uncategorized transactions and sync those between QuickBooks. And it'll also integrate. It'll also integrate on the billing side. So if like you send an invoice in our system, it'll create that invoice in QBO. If the client pays it, it'll mark it as paid in QBO. So it keeps it in sync with your accounting software. So for payments, it depends on the style of payment, how long it takes for you to receive the funds. If it's credit card, it's next day. If it's ACH, I believe it's 4 days for you guys to receive the funds. So at first, it's just going to be available to the US, but we'll soon be offering billing for Canadians as well. Okay. So Beth, yes, invoicing will integrate with QBO. We'll keep everything in sync. And what's going to be really cool too is if you're using QBO already for invoicing and you want to use it in our system, we're going to have a way for you to easily import all your invoices into Financial Sense. So you don't have to recreate all the invoices in our system. It'll literally be a few clicks. It'll recreate all the current invoices you have in QBO, like your recurring invoices. And then when you turn them on in our system, you can have it stop the invoices in QBO so there's no double billing, making that transition very simple. We do not sync with Alessio. The major difference is Alessio is focused on the requests and the communication, and Financial Sense does that piece plus like the workflow and like the time tracking and some other parts of your app. You can make custom labels on the client and store those information and sort and filter by those labels, so you can run reports on them. We don't have tax organizers, but you can, if the client requests, you can link to tax organizers or online forms and then send those to the clients for them to fill out. So you can use it with our system and use it with like the requests and the reminders, but it would have to be an external tax organizer system. Does time tracking produce invoices to customers? Can you flat fee bill and still track hours against flat fee? Yes, you'll be able to flat fee bill and track time against that flat fee. Not at first can you bill off time, but really quickly within like the next month, we'll have the ability to bill off time tracked as well, if you want to do that. See, there's other questions in Q&A. I don't know what you mean by the list of tags. If you can provide more information on that. Cheryl, I don't know the answer to that question. I'll reach out to our support team. They could probably answer that technical question. Yes, billing will also work for recurring sales receipts. If you use those, we can import those as well. So if you start a free trial of Financial Sense, it will automatically have some default templated tags that you can use. Okay. So I think I've gotten through most of the questions. And I think we're pretty much up on time. So if you guys have any other questions about Financial Sense, I just did a high level demo. You can go start a free trial of Financial Sense, play around with it, get a feel for it. And you can also, it looks like there's a CTA live in the bottom right to book a demo today. So if you're interested in booking a demo, we are doing a special promotion. So if you sign up, I think before the end of the month or talk to our team, you can get 50% off Financial Sense for 3 months. So if you're interested in trying it out, you get a chance to try it out at a lower rate to see if it's a good fit for you. Okay, with no other questions, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to our team. You can do that at the virtual booth or just go to our website and chat us. All right, everyone. I'll see you around.